The quickest way to get your first wholesaling real estate deal. Guys, if you want to know the best, most efficient, quickest way to get your first wholesaling real estate deal, this is going to be the complete guide, the complete tutorial on how to do it. I truly believe in wholesaling real estate, that getting your first wholesaling real estate deal, especially this year, is not as complicated as it seems. There are methods that people have used in down markets, crazy markets, where it just cuts all of the analysis paralysis out. Like, where should I wholesale? What should I do? Where should I do? What all these questions you might be having that's stopping you from getting wholesaling success. I truly believe in this video, we are going to change your mindset for it and just give you a step-by-step action plan on the quickest and best way to get your first wholesaling real estate deal right now. So if you're excited, if you are pumped up to do wholesaling real estate deals and make a ton of money in this business, we're excited to go. So Zach Ginn is here.
Rick Ginn is in the house.
And we are going to show you the best, most effective way to get your first wholesaling real estate deal right now. So before we get into it, before we share it and give you all this great information, guys, do us a big favor. Make sure you guys go out here and smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment below your questions. And we want to help you get your first wholesaling real estate deal and give you a method that most people will charge a bunch of money for. But as a beginner, you know how we do it. We want to make you your first 100 grand absolutely for free. And so we're excited for it. So without further ado, y'all already know what to do, guys. We got to get you jacked up, ready to go.
Let's go.
It's wholesaling time. You already know this. So let's get into it. Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and get the guy. Go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Oh, snap. We're ready to go, guys. We're excited, and we're going to help you get your first wholesaling real estate deal in a snap. Pretty easy, pretty simple, and let's just break it all down. And so the reason why we're doing this is we just want to help people get their first wholesaling real estate deal, honestly. Like, first and foremost, we're excited for this. And the reason why is we're going to give some information today that is just going to really eliminate all the excuses, eliminate the issues, and really change the way you've been looking at wholesaling real estate. And we've kind of been hinting on this method for a while, but we're excited to do it right now. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, before we get it going, right, we got to understand the first thing, right? Like, what is wholesaling real estate? Before we learn how to get our first deal, we got to understand what wholesaling is. And really, I think a lot of people have these weird definitions in their mind. They have this weird like thought of what wholesaling truly is. And really, if you want to get into the truth of what wholesaling houses is, it's you find people that want to sell the property, you lock up a contract, you agree to purchase it for a certain price, you get a contract signed, and you sell that contract to a rich landlord, house flipper, cash buyer, and you make a profit, assignment fee, finder's fee, whatever you want to call it. That is what it is. I want you to understand before we break this all down, this is very important to talk about, but whatever you put in between what we just said is all air. Like it's all just everything you put in between that is just complicating the business, and it's making it more stressful and more annoying. And it's most likely going to stop you from getting your first wholesaling deal. Guys, of course, there's so much more. There's acquisition skills, cash buyers, there's tips and tricks, MAO. There's all these things you can do, obviously, but it's like basketball. If you just put the ball in the hoop, right? Like that's the goal. Our goal is not to be breaking someone's ankles or doing something, right? We're like the old man playing basketball, the fundamentals. And the fundamentals in wholesaling real estate: find people that want to sell the property, sign that contract, and then sell that contract for a profit. That is what we're talking about today. We're not complicating this. We're not doing crazy market analysis where we're not here to make things crazy. Okay. We're here to make it simple, because once you simplify everything, you keep it simple, you will get your first wholesaling deal. When I got my first wholesaling deal, I didn't really know much about any of that other airy stuff. I just knew, get a deal for the lowest you can, find someone that wants to buy it, and make a profit. When you got your first deal, you weren't the expert, but you knew the basic and fundamentals and went there. You don't have to be an expert for everything before you get into it. And that's what we're trying to do today, right?
Yeah. I mean, you just have to work on being a master of marketing and connecting with sellers that need to sell their house. Listen, everybody who wants to sell their house, they all want to. We focus on need. And the primary difference you have to understand in wholesaling is, here's the reality, and most gurus aren't going to tell you. You're better off if you work without a realtor and go directly with the seller to get your best deal. Now, that doesn't mean you never work with realtors, but in the beginning, realtors, they don't really subscribe to wholesaling. They don't like assignment of contracts, and they think everything we do is about lowballing. And so if you start out with this strategy, you get frustrated because you're doing realtor things. Honestly, go out and find individual homeowners directly without a realtor that need to sell their house, that have a pressing situation, and help guide them through it. It's that simple. Never once have me and Zach said, hey, go out, call everybody on MLS and do all this stuff. Honestly, it's the hardest way to start out. But the reality is it sounds super sexy on paper. The true art of wholesaling, anybody that's really done this business, they've gone out and probably 90% of their deals are direct to seller. There are a few exceptions, but for the most part, when you start out, I want you to bypass the realtor because they will cause such confusion, chaos. It rarely works out in the beginning. And I want you to understand that, because if you start doing realtor activities, you guys start to chase people that just want to sell their house and you're dealing with realtors. It's the number one recipe that will drive you out of wholesaling. Do not try to take wholesaling and fit it into realtor world. We are on two different planets. It's just how it's been. I've been doing this 21 years. We still have the same Hatfield McCoy battle going on. I'm telling you in the beginning, just go direct to the seller. It will make a tremendous difference on how to catapult your first few deals in wholesaling.
This is what we're talking about today, guys. Of course, we do MLS deals. Of course, we do all these great things. But just remember, finding a motivated seller and getting that contract, the whole MLS thing with the realtor, that is going to be something that's going to complicate, because they're going to ask you for comps. They're going to go crazy with this lingo and advanced stuff. And that's all fluff that's going to be in between you getting that first deal. We want to make it as simple, quick, fast, and efficient as possible. I mean, everyone wants their money, right? They want their money now. Okay. Yeah. They don't want you don't want your first deal in 4 months from now. You want it now. So let's talk about this. How to get your first deal the quickest, the best, efficient way right now for wholesaling houses. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it, right? Number one, this is going to be big contradiction to what you've heard before, but this is what we call in wholesaling real estate: speed wholesaling, quick wholesaling, reverse wholesaling, whatever quick term or lingo it is. But if you're looking at your deal, the quickest, fastest, most efficient way right now in wholesaling real estate, you have to go out here first and foremost and find your top areas. And you might be like, whoa. I got to do analysis and all this crazy. No. Okay. I'm not saying that, but we are going to have to find our top areas. There's easy ways to do it, but we got to make it stupid simple, because you're not a market expert. If I'm in looking your market, I'm most likely not your market expert, but we can find these market experts and they'll show us for free what to do. So let's get into our step-by-step process. Number one, the fastest, most efficient, quickest way to get started in wholesaling real estate. Number one, find the cash buyer first. And it pains me to say that as someone that's used to the different way possible in wholesaling, but truly, there's multiple ways to wholesale houses. But if you want to get your deal the best and quickest, fastest way, you got to find the buyer first, because you are just too young or too new in this business that you don't know if this is a good deal or a bad deal. There's a good area, bad area. So what we're going to find is the rich landlords and the house flippers first. Why am I calling them? I get asked this all the time, because when I'm talking to newbies, right, new wholesalers, Zach, why are you calling them rich landlord and house flippers? Just call them cash buyers. I'm like, no. Because when I say cash buyers, people will go to anyone. Everyone says they're a cash buyer. Everyone. I'm a cash buyer. I'm a cash buyer.
Yeah.
They all say they're cash buyers. But guess what I keep putting in your head? A rich landlord house flipper. So if I get a guy off the street or on that DMs me that says they're a cash buyer, put me on your list. You got to ask yourself, wait, are they a rich landlord or house flipper? So let's go down okay, someone says they're a cash buyer. Are you a rich landlord? How do I figure out if you're a rich landlord or not? Show me the properties you own.
Yeah.
Oh, the fake buyer can't do that. Oh, okay. So you're not a rich landlord. So are you a house flipper? Have you show me the houses you flipped before?
Yeah.
And guess what? Fake buyers can't do that. And so when we make it simple and we just it's A or B. Are you a rich landlord or house flipper? Anything outside of that, we're not dealing with it right now. Okay, we're not dealing with the people that are land banking or want to live in the house. No. All right, simple, fast, efficient. Are they rich and they own rental property? And you can show me, or are they someone that has flipped a bunch of houses before? If they're not one of these people, do not deal with them. Okay, so when it's cash buyers, they're either a rich landlord or house flipper. That is it.
We don't recruit other wholesalers in this venture.
No.
So guys, just to let you know, the code word for a lot of wholesalers is everybody's a cash buyer. The reality, if I contact 10, if I reach out to 10 cash buyers, if 3 or 4 legit, it's a good ratio. That's how bad it is out there. So just because somebody tells you it, I'm actually numb to it. The last thing you want are other wholesalers in your cash buyers list, because they cloud everything up. They give you a false sense of security. And honestly, they are your worst buyers because they will never, ever close and they're going to daisy chain. So if you snuff them out, they'll never tell you they're a wholesaler up front. But once you start asking for factuals, give me a property address you've closed on. When you start getting it's complicated. It's my partner. That translation means no, I am not a cash buyer. And we just saved you 30 to 40 minutes of like complete waste of time. That's just the truth. This is why you have to vet them. 10 cash buyers, about 70% of them are going to be full of crap. And if you know that up front, you can guard your time a lot better. Everyone I've ever reached out says they're a cash buyer. So it's like the people that want to sell their house versus the people need to sell your house. You're flipping it around on cash buyers. Who are the real cash buyers and who are the pretends? It's your job to separate those two so they don't screw your business up.
Exactly. So in step 1 here, when you're finding the cash buyers, you ask the cash buyers first and foremost, are you a rich landlord house flipper? They show you proof, right? Make sure they're legit. And then ask them, hey, so you're looking to buy houses for cash and you're okay with me being a wholesaler, all these things. Remember, Wholesaling.com, we just have a list of questions you can ask them. And one of the questions, are you okay with me making an assignment fee or profit? Yes. Do you know wholesaling? Have you bought from wholesalers before? Easy stuff, right? But the most important question is, where are you looking to buy? And what are you looking to buy? And when you ask these rich landlord house flippers, where are they looking to buy? They'll say, this zip, do not do this zip code and do not do this area, but I want this neighborhood, right? And I'm looking for rental properties. What do you look? I'm looking for at least 2 bedrooms, maybe 3 bedrooms, but like nothing crazy, right? And I don't want to buy anything above 350,000, whatever, right? And so, okay, now I know the areas. Now I know where they want to buy. Boom, easy, simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You go to freehousing.com, it's all in there, right? But no, that's it. We find the buyers. And then once we know that, hey, I talked to 4 buyers, they all want to do in these 4 zip codes. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to market to motivated sellers in the areas that the buyers want. It's simple, right? Like, so your customer who is buying your contracts from you says, I want to buy things in this area. You go out and you find inventory contracts in those areas.
And the key to this is, instead of you guessing where the demand is, go out and talk to the demand and see their price points in the areas they're buying, because you could be wrong. Sometimes we pick areas based on feelings and emotions. And honestly, I prefer you look at like real data, because just the data just can't lie to you.
It's true.
And the last thing you need to do is start in the wrong market on a gut feeling. Unfortunately, a gut feeling when you're starting out a wholesaling, it's usually pretty wrong because you have no idea. So start with data. And then the more direct you can get data, if you're calling and vetting the cash buyers, the more accurate your information is. And if you get data from the internet, especially for free, you got to be very careful on which information you're going to act on, because she said, or I heard, stuff like that. That is nothing that you run a business off of. That's That's drama. And we do not use drama in wholesaling because it will not make you any money.
Exactly. So what type of marketing should you do? There's a lot of them out here, right? There's trying for dollars, reverse trying for dollars. You can go out and get government lists from the government for free. You can use a prop stream or a batch leads list. I mean, there's a million ways to do it. I've said this once and I'll say it before. If you want to learn exactly how to market to sellers, how to find cash buyers, like, I mean, for example, for like cash buyers, I'll just go to Zillow and go to the 4 rents. I can go cash sales on PropStream, listria.com, and go from there. We have a free wholesaling course. It's called freewholesaling.com. It'll show you basically everything. We have over 100,000 people have already done it. And we produce hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month in profit. You guys doing millions from people that watch us. They make millions of dollars every single month in assignment fees. And they learn it for free at freewholesaling.com. It's crazy. And I think we showed you the video yesterday. Like we're producing a lot of great results for people, and it works. And it's because it's just stuff that we do, right? And people are making hundreds of millions of dollars of assignment fees just from learning from us, and be the next person. But really, just go to freewholesaling.com. It's all in there. FREEWHOLESALING, freewholesaling.com. It's right there. Now, once we market these sellers and we find people that actually want to sell their property, right, we're going to number 3. We're going to meet them, or we're going to call them if we're doing virtual wholesaling, and we're just going to give them an offer. And this might be like, whoa, 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 whoa. How do I calculate the offer? How do I do this all perfectly? How do I do the perfect calculations in the, hey, chill. All right. Like, let's chill out. All right. Number 1, I hate to say this, but like, just go for the no. Like, literally, so everyone asks, like, Zach, what should my offer be? Go for the no? What does that mean? Go for the no basically means that you should do an offer where you know the seller is going to say no.
Well, why would we do that, Zach? That seems counterproductive to what we're trying to do.
Right. And so when you go for the no, when you make sure someone says no in your first offer, you squeeze the best possible price so you can make the most profit on the deal.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people don't like that, but that's the truth. But that's scary to give a low offer. Of course it's scary to give a low offer. But guess what happens when you give low offers? You get high profits. And that's the point.
And really, the idea is it actually an effective way to negotiate with people, because let's face it, people are going to give you a high number to begin with if you ask for it. And so why that, there's always a bantering back and forth. Yeah. So the traditional way, how most of you guys have been taught, is you do your maximum allowable offer and you try to get close as you can, because that's what realtors do. Like, they try to get a yes on the first try. We're going to do this in reverse order. We're going to build up an amazing rapport, have a great conversation to the point we connect with them on a personal, and then we're going to build it up and we're going to chop it down with that low offer. The purpose is the end goal. What do you want at the end? You want to be able to buy the person's house and solve their problem. And understanding if you can't do those two things, the deal's not going to happen anyways. Yeah. So why don't you remember, you're always a guide walking your seller through to get the best possible outcome. Most of the people are huge procrastinators that work with us. They are overwhelmed, and it's the biggest decision of their life. Yeah. So you have to walk them through a process. So by doing that low offer, you actually help get to their bottom line faster without all the stress. So when we get a no, it doesn't mean we're offered. That's just a starting point. So Mr. Seller wants $100,000 for his house. I offer 50, whatever the number is. I don't spend 2 hours trying to put together the perfect offer. It gets rejected. If I offer 50 or 80, guess what? It's got a 90% chance of being rejected on the first offer anyway. So you might as well start with a low and then just let them give you the counter. Once you have a counter, now you're doing this thing called negotiating, and that's when it starts. If you're going to operate like a realtor, like a lot of people teach you, is when you get close to your MAO, where are you going to go from there? You got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Well, I felt bad. I didn't want to give a low offer. It seemed kind of sharky. No. In so much in life, if you just reverse engineer the outcome you want to get, you're never going to force a seller to sell you a house. Either you're a good fit or not, and they need to move on with it. If they're strictly price oriented, they are probably not going to be a good candidate for a wholesaler. But if they have a problem, they want to solve it, and they want certainty, and they know they're going to discount, you just got to get them down to their bottom line price. Other methods going to take you weeks to drag on. The one we teach you is usually a day, if not 2. It seems a little bit different, but guys, I got 21 years experience. I've tried it every which way. I'm telling you, the go for no method has the best result in the long run because you don't spend a lot of energy on it and you only deal with people that have the most motivation to sell their house. And you are actually helping them by doing it. I love when people are like, well, doing a go for no offer hurt. How does it hurt someone? If they have to sell it for a discount, let's just get to that number quick, sooner than later. And then, the longer it takes, the less probability they're going to accept your offer and they might go with a realtor or another wholesaler. So this method, honestly, it's been studied. I've tried 1,000 ways. I was scared to do it my first few years and I regret it because I actually drew the process out and I couldn't help people out. By using the go for no method, you solve your problem, you solve your seller's problem. And remember, at the end of the day, they're going to make a decision either to sell to you or not. The go for no method just moves you faster along the negotiation curve. And the key with it is you have to build up amazing rapport. Without rapport, none of it works. So guys, you can do it the realtor way and try to get that yes on the first try, or do it our way and expect a no and just work closer to getting a deal done. I'm telling you, it works. If you try to do it the other way, I promise you, eventually you'll see the light and go, you know what, Rick and Zach were right. I should just use that method. Why most people don't do it? It's very uncomfortable and it's scared. Why? Because every path you've taken to this point has been comfortable and it's gotten you to a point that's frustrated you. So we're going to have to do things differently. And if you'll subscribe to this theory, I can change your life. If you're going to try to use your old filter that got you where you didn't want to go, you're going to get stuck on this part. So
Exactly.
that's my rant.
Yeah. I mean, just guys, a lot of people act like a lot of newbies act like when you give an offer to a seller, it's like proposing to someone or asking them on a date. And when they say no, it's kind of over, right? We're talking about this is price. This isn't asking someone out. Like, it's like they say yes or no, and that's it. No. Go for the no. When they say no, it's a negotiation. Okay, it's not over when someone says no. A lot of people think they said no, I guess I got to give up. No. All right, no. We're saying no to that. The thing is, when someone says no, okay, if that doesn't work, what works for you then? And then if they actually want to sell the house through a legit motivated seller, they'll give you a price that works for them. Then you just meet in the middle till you find a price that's the lowest you possibly can do. And boom, you can make a profit.
But by trying to do that perfect offer, guys, you spend so much time doing comps and like,
oh yeah,
honestly, listen, if 1 out of 50 works out, then like just kind of spend the energy on focusing on motivation, because the other way, you got to be a realtor and you got to do, and you will literally waste hundreds of hours doing it. I'm telling you, we are not realtors. You're not going to get a perfect comp. Either we're buying at a discount, it works. If not, we just move on to the next one.
Exactly. And so once they agree to a price that works for you guys, go to step 4 here, you sign that contract, and then you give that to a title company. Now, probably, I hate to say this, but the most complicated part of this whole process, especially as a beginner, is signing the contract. And I know that. Trust me, as a beginner, that was the most stressful parts of us, for me. And the truth is actually the easiest part. Guys, a contract is just filling out a form. And I think we filled out papers all of our life in school. And so at freewholesaling.com or free wholesaling course, which I've said before, if you're watching this on YouTube, there is a free wholesaling course link on the bottom. So just go click on that. And there will be a video of you doing a screen share.
Yeah.
We literally have a contract and we write it with you on an iPad just to show you where to fill it out, what to put and everything. So it's super simple. It's not, so you just put, this is the seller, their name. This is our name, our buyer. This is the price. It's really simple what you do. And then we just share exactly what to put in. So it's not that complicated to do. You will learn it in probably 30 minutes to an hour, I would say, just getting it perfectly dialed in. Yeah. And you don't have to stress out over it.
And there's only 2 people that grade your contract. So you used to school teach it. It's your seller, which you just make it very fluent and transparent. And then your title company, which is on your team anyways, and God forbid you make a mistake, they'll actually help you out. As long as you have the terms and the verbal agreement with your seller and they agree to put it in writing, even if you make a mistake on contracts, which I made a ton, your title company will help you fix it.
Yeah, so don't complicate it. So, and then you give that to your title company. Remember, freewholesaling.com will show you to find the right title company. Honestly, just call around title companies. You can look on Facebook for ones that wholesalers are using. And it's pretty simple to find a pretty good one. And then obviously we can always help you out with that. Step 5, I mean, we kind of call the seller and we just basically do that. And so step 5, we call up the buyer. And then, no, wait. Step 5, all right, I think I mixed it up a little bit here. But step 5 is we call up that seller and we just basically let them know that we are going to have our partner go buy the property, and then we are going to sell that contract to said buyer for a profit. I had that little tongue twister there for me. I don't know why. But basically, all you got to do is call up that seller. And when he signed that contract, I let the seller know, hey, my partner's probably going to come by and look at the property just to inspect it and just look at it. It won't change anything with the deal. And then literally when you call up the seller and you let them know, say, hey, my buyer's going to come by and actually see, is that okay? Sure. And all we're going to do is then sell that contract to said buyer. And how does that process work? It seems complicated and crazy. All I legit have to do out here is call that buyer up, say, hey, remember when he told me that you're looking for 3 2s in this zip code? Well, I have a 3 2 in this zip code under contract. Oh, great. Can you send me over some pictures and maybe the address and what price you're looking to, sell the contract for me for? And okay, sure. And you send over the information, say, yeah, that price works. I can do that. And boom. Or I have to be at this price or whatever and still make a profit. So let's say you lock up the deal for 200,000 and you say, hey, Mr. Cash Buyer, here's the deal. I could sell the contract to you for 230,000 for the house. And they say, I do 230. Guess what? That's a $30,000 profit. All you do is you call the seller up again. That's kind of what I said here and say, hey, Mr. Seller, my partner and I are going to come by the property on Monday. What time works for you? Okay, 4 p.m. Sure. And that brings step 6, where you do a walkthrough with the cash buyer, with the rich landlord house flipper. They go by the property, they look at it, they see it, say, okay, this looks good. This doesn't look good. Okay, that works for me. What they do is they sign something called the assignment of contract. And basically, that seems complicated, but an assignment of contract basically is a piece of paper agreeing for you to sell that contract you already have locked up for a $30,000 profit, whatever it is. So in wholesaling real estate, we have 2 contracts. We have the purchase contract, and then we have the assignment contract. The purchase contract is basically an agreement for us to buy said property from the seller. The assignment is us selling that contract to the rich landlord house flipper for a finder's fee. It just shows how much money we're going to make on it, makes it very transparent. And that's it. A lot of people are like, oh, we don't want the buyer to know how much money we make. We want them to know. Okay, they'll figure it out. They're not stupid. And on top of that, they're the ones who pay our finder's fee. Of course, they need to know how much it is. And if they don't like that we're making money, we go to the next buyer. Trust me. Don't.
Guys, you're like, I will tell you this. If you try to hide something from the seller, it's usually going to blow up in your face. That is the one person you do not mess around with. As far as the buyer, if they don't like you making a profit, they're not your buyer, like flat out. Now, if you have a huge profit level, I don't really care about the buyer. You can do a double closing, but I will, hence this, you guys are selling your contract. You're selling the rights to your contract. You have to focus on your sellers. And honestly, you should be disclosing, this is what you do for a living. I make a profit. I have no idea. Sometimes we don't know if it's going to be a rental, a fix and flip, what's going to go on with it. But as long as you inform to your seller that you're making a profit, most of them just want you to buy the house. So once you do that disclosure, you're covered. So please don't ever think you can try to hide something from your seller, because if they have anxiety about it, they're going to look it up. And if you get that phone call a month or 2 down the road, it's even worse, because they feel like they weren't disclosed. They feel like they got duped, and you do not want to be in that position. So be honest. And honestly, most sellers that I deal with, they know what we're doing up front. It's not really a problem. It's when third parties come in and start leaning in their ear. Sometimes we have to do a double closing, but I'm telling you guys, just be upfront and honest with your sellers. It's just easier. I've done this every which way, and I'm telling you, trying to hide it from your seller, there's no hiding it. It's going to come out in public record. So just let them know I do this for a profit. If you have a problem with it, you can't move forward.
Exactly. And then we basically send that back to the title company saying, hey, we have that done. They set up the closing. And basically step 7, pretty much the most simple thing you possibly can do is, but you call the seller up every week. You call the buyer up every week, make sure everything's all smooth, everything's good. And then you have your closing date. You get your check. And now wholesaling seems real to you and it's perfect. And you make a profit. Guys, we help a lot of people get their first wholesaling deal. You don't believe me, go to freewholesaling.com. We show exactly all the profits everybody makes. But I'm telling you, you get closing day, you get your check, and that's it. This process, you can probably get your first check in as little as 14 days. I've seen that happen on average, about 30 days to get your first check. And the only thing that's going to stop you or going to help you get your first deal or your first check in wholesaling is how hard you are willing to work. If you're willing to put in the effort, if you're willing to actually work your butt off, you'll actually make a lot of profits in wholesaling. If you don't want to work hard, if you don't want to be the person out here that wants to actually have a motivation to go out here and change their life, change their financial destiny, change their entire life, their trajectory forever, never work a 9-to-5 job ever again, and start wholesaling houses and have success. If you're that type of person, you'll do well. If you just want to make a quick 50K and just zip out of this business so you can do your weird, stupid, Forex thing, this ain't the business for you. If you have a legit hunger to get really good at this craft and make millions of dollars, you'll get it. Wholesaling real estate's the best thing ever. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care if you have a high school diploma. It doesn't care what you look like. It doesn't care how tall you are, what gender. It doesn't even care if you're American or not. The only thing wholesaling real estate discriminates on is hard work and dedication. That's why I love this business. This is why anyone out here watching this, if they want to put their mind to it, they can make a ton of money in this business. That's it, guys. If you want to get started in wholesaling real estate, I tell everybody, go out here, get your knowledge up right. You don't have to spend any money to get your knowledge up right to learn wholesaling. Just go to freewholesaling.com, freewholesaling.com, and you get your first wholesaling deal the quickest, fastest, most efficient way. Download your contracts there. You can download all of our scripts.
Yeah, everything's there.
Everything there. So, guys, when you get going, go to freewholesaling.com, and that is how you get your first deal the quickest, most efficient way. I'm telling you guys, that's how you do it, and that's how you get really rich in this business really, really fast. And so let's answer some comments. Let's answer some questions everybody has on this. We've helped a lot of people get their first wholesaling deal, and so we're very confident in what we say. And, I'm getting questions like Jordan's like, what's double closing? What are these terms? Go to freewholesaling.com. It is literally all in there.
Yeah. And you can learn at your own pace, but really it is the most thorough wholesaling course out there. And people are like, why don't they charge for it? Well, number one, I just don't think there should be a filter between you busting your butt and getting your first deal. The real payment is going to be the effort you put into it. Because no matter if you pay someone for a course to get it for free, the outcome, the derivative of what is going to happen is completely based on your effort. And if you don't understand that going into any type of course, you will 100% fail. I'm telling you right now, I've done this so many ways. I've tried private coaching. I've tried it different ways. Honestly, you got to go get the best information out there. I know this is, and it's 100% free, and you don't have to worry about it. Everything you see in freewholesaling.com, which put up for 3 years, is more than enough to not only get your first deal, that gets you your first 100 grand. What I cannot make you do is put in the effort. So our goal of why we do this is we find the people that put the max effort in, get super excited with them. They usually wind up JVing with us, spending a lot more time with us. And those are my favorite. But if I put 100 people in a room, 3 to 5 will take action. It's just a statistical number. Wholesaling is hard work. It takes dedication. It takes discipline. And if you don't have the fortitude for it, I can't make you do it. So everybody's in a different situation. What I love about wholesaling, it doesn't require an incredible intelligence. I'm living proof of it. And honestly, it could care less where you come from, your financial background. They don't care about your education. Honestly, I've seen the people get the wealthiest in this business, the ones that just work the hardest. Yeah. And if you're sick of everything, of your boss putting you in a corner going, you need a master's degree for this, you need a doctorate for this, it's useless. All these type of people work for us. So do you want to be in control of your own destiny, or do you want to let somebody else dictate on how you work on their dream? Everything is possible. And I believe wholesaling is the best route to take to minimize your risk and show you true freedom. And the crazy thing is wholesaling is it bleeds over to all the other aspects of your life, your relationships, your business, everything. And that's why I like it. But I got to get you started. You've got to get out of the matrix that you're living in.
Yeah.
Because if you think working 9 to 5 or whatever it is and just getting 2 weeks of vacation and having your weekends off, dude, that is a prison sentence. And I lived it for 12 plus years. And if you guys are like, hey, listen, I need to figure out a change, and wholesaling's piqued your interest, you are definitely in the right spot.
I agree 100%. So also why we did this video today, this seems like a very, specific video we made, right? The reason why we made this video is first and foremost, we want you to understand the concept of wholesaling, of how to get your first deal, and really kind of get the I get a little bit of the fire burning, right? It's kind of, I'm kindling some people to get a light in their life or the fire driving them up, because guess what's happening next week? We're always excited. We've talked about this forever, but year 2 of the 30-day wholesaling challenge starts June 1st.
You set your clocks to it with us.
So we do it every year
Yeah.
in June, but this is going to be day 1, starts June 1st. And why do we do it in June, right? We do it in June because this is when most high schoolers, college students graduate. They got nothing to do all summer. Teachers are off. A lot of people are off in the summer. They do their vacations. They have a lot more free time in their hands. And a lot of people, they go to the beach in the summer. They do all these. Why don't you start wholesaling this summer? Why don't you make this the summer that actually changes your financial life forever, and you can quit your job by the start of fall, right?
Yeah.
Guys, so the 30-day wholesaling challenge is a challenge where on the Flip with Rick YouTube channel, we release one video every single day for 30 days straight in sequential order of how to get your first deal in wholesaling real estate.
All brand new videos, nothing recycled. Like,
well, no, we never recycle it.
Yeah,
but
we fresh. Keep it
so
fresh.
we've been recording videos like crazy, and you can tell by last year I had a lot longer hair. So obviously you'll see it's me, right? And so basically what we did is for the past month, we've been recording videos like clockwork, trying to get it out for you guys of one video every single day. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to do a live stream of the days. So I think June 1st, day 1, we're going to do a live stream on it, because it's like what is wholesaling? We're doing a full complete tutorial. It's going to be like at least an hour and a half just going over what is wholesaling.
Mhm.
And so we kind of did a 30 minutes. Like, we're doing a full, like, complete thing, because we want every single person to watch every single day and be like, I know everything I need to know about wholesaling in only 30 days. It's insane. So it starts June 1st. Make sure you subscribe to the Flip with Rick YouTube channel, and it'll be on there. On top of that, too, on the Zackin YouTube channel and on the Rickin YouTube channel, the 30-day wholesaling challenge won't be there except for the live streams,
Mhm.
but we're going to release our own type of specific content on wholesaling on there. So that's always going to be there too. And wholesaling also is for real. We'll keep posting amazing stuff on there. But challenge starts June 1st. There's no signups, nothing like that. To be a winner, you just got to get your first deal from the challenge.
Yeah.
So we'll have the winners in July that got their first deal and their checks, and they can prove everything. But it's really exciting. So June 1st, that's when it starts. 30-day wholesaling challenge. You get your first deal in 30 days. That's what it is. Nobody else in wholesaling real estate does this. So it's exciting. We'll post the 30-day wholesaling challenge when it's over in freewholesaling.com for everyone. And I'm always excited for it. You know,
it's a great platform for you to build momentum, because if everybody kind of starts at the same time, they go, man, they're taking me from day 1. They're not giving me 5-year-old videos, and we just walk you through it. And the idea is, if we can inspire and do the videos and take on this type of operation, it should inspire you to go, listen, if they're going to give me this much support, I can easily do it. And then we have a lot of fun with it. We highlight people. Everybody wants to win. We have prizes. We all sorts of giveaways. And the idea is just build momentum. If I can just get one person to take action to change their life, I'm fine with that. If I can get 10,000, I'm even more excited. But the idea is, momentum builds. And when everyone's kind of doing a movement at the same time, remember, our focus on this channel is wholesaling. Like, I stick to the core fundamentals. I can give you 1,000 techniques, but the reality is, let's just get started. Let's change your life. And once you build this foundation, it just grows exponentially from there. But here's the key. You got to get started. And we all kind of sit there and go, hey, let's start June 1, man. Put it in your calendar. And you know what? You already have you have a week's head start watching this. And that's why we're pumping you up with it.
So I'm telling you, everyone, you thought last year we did a 30-day wholesaling challenge.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of work, and it's a lot of work for this one, but it's work that I love doing. And the reason why we did it last year, and the reason why we're doing it again, first of all, it's going to be every single year for the rest of our lives. But the reason why it created such a spur, like, people really get going January 1st, because it's like, okay, we're doing it. Every guru and their mom does a challenge. And so every guru has like 6 challenges they do a year. Let's do one challenge this year. And we're going to make it the most epic challenge possible, where in 30 days, it's not a 2-day challenge. It's a 30-day challenge. Get your first deal. It's every guru challenge mixed into one. And we worked our butt off getting it for you guys, but it's basically, we are going to put our heart and soul for free. You guys get it for free into giving you your first wholesaling real estate deal. And that's the point. And so, guys, we're excited for it. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's basically the only way you're going to be able to see it and be involved in it. And so it'll be on the YouTube channel, and make sure everyone subscribes to it too. But we're excited for this, and we're ready to announce it. So it'll start next Thursday, so June 1st, and it's going to be insane. I'm so excited for it.
This will be fun.
We had to change a lot because a lot in wholesaling real estate has changed. And so we have to update it yearly. And so that's why we do it every year, and we're excited for it. So let's answer some questions. Let's get it going, and let's talk to the people. So let's get some questions here. Amanda says, thanks to you guys, I got my first wholesale deal in 3 days.
Oh my God.
Closed in 20 due to title company schedule. Amanda,
That's
let's
awesome.
go. Awesome. I'd love to see that, guys. Amanda. So unfortunately, Amanda's not going to get her first deal from the 30 Wholesaling Challenge because she got her first deal now. I love it. Shout out to Amanda. So love to see it. Amanda said, just started on a Tuesday. Friday, I had the deal locked on. Amanda is an action taker. Amanda is someone that goes out here and takes names and doesn't care what the noise is. And we love seeing it. I'm telling you, this stuff works. Amanda, let me know what market you're in. Let's inspire some people. T. Lewis says, but if they say no, then the conversation's over, right? No, I've said it again.
That's where it starts.
We're not proposing. You know, you propose to someone to say no, it's like,
it's pretty much over.
You know, that's pretty much over. But no. You just negotiate. It's a price. That's what it's all about.
So no is a process. But usually when you do the go for no method, you get a reaction. And a reaction is what I call a counter. You use this to gather intel. And a lot of times people will subconsciously say, listen, I could never take 100. I talked to me and my wife, our lowest price is 122. Well, dude, you got like intel that might take you weeks to get. You just got it in a 30-minute conversation with them. So sometimes it's just a flat out no. And we teach you techniques in freewholesaling.com to dance around and get around with it. But the reality is, if you try to go for that perfect offer, it's usually a disaster at wholesaling. And I'm just telling you, the go for no method, once you get a counter or even a no, you have now officially started negotiations. Most people are scared to death to do negotiations. They try to skip it by doing a one-off offer, and that's realtor world. We don't operate under the realtor world.
Exactly.
It's wholesaling, baby.
So Kevin's going to be on the challenge. I think there's going to be a lot of people on, so we're excited for it. And obviously for the challenge, we'll make a YouTube playlist so you can come back and watch it, and it's amazing. So Amanda said, oh, everything to you guys. York, Pennsylvania. Amazing market. I love PA. Yeah. That's awesome. I'd love to see it. And Amanda, you don't owe anything to us.
Yeah.
We are here to change your life. I've always said it, and I've said it a million times. I learned wholesaling real estate for free from him, and that was stupid and an unfair advantage that I have. I know that for a fact. And so what I want to do is give what he did to me, and I'll be, your dad, I guess, and teach you for free in wholesaling. So you have the unfair advantage also. And that's kind of the point here, guys, because this person decided to teach me wholesaling for free. I decided I want to teach you guys for free. Usually how the guru cycle happens is I had to pay to learn the information. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to make you pay to learn the information. Guys, just to make your first 100K, you should not pay any money at all.
Yeah,
no money
listen,
at all.
The real effort, Amanda, is you put in the risk of your time. You weren't guaranteed an outcome, and you just did the work to do it. And most people, here's the reality why they fail at wholesaling. They don't want to take the time, and they feel it's too risky. Well, if you think it's too risky, look at the position you're in now. And if you're frustrated, go work for an employer for 12 years. That is the biggest risk, in my opinion, period. I'm not telling you to leave your obligations. Just come up with a plan.
Yeah.
God did not put you on this planet to sit in a 9-to-5 structure and just get by. And if with inflation now, most are just getting by. You need to far exceed that. You're never going to get rich working for someone else. We all know that. We just don't admit it. The reality is, man, is you put in the faith in us, and we appreciate you did the work. But like everything she did, she learned at freewholesaling.com. I never charged her a dime. I've never changed my structure in 3 years, and it's always going to be that way. So what I want to do is, guys, it comes down to, do you believe in yourself to go out there and go get what you want? It doesn't even matter if it's wholesaling. I'm just telling you guys, we are not made as caged animals to sit behind a desk in a cubicle all day. And if you truly want change, I'm telling you, you're in the right place. Now, I taught him, but he taught me a lot. He taught me how to get this stuff out of my brain, ADHD, so I could give it to you guys without driving you nuts. So if you guys can relate, you understand why I'm saying that's why we work so well together. I was a huge action taker. I took a ton of action, but it took me time to organize it in my brain. And he helped me out while I was teaching it. And that's why we've come up with this wonderful system to share it with you guys, because I'm looking to create a legacy. I'm older and I want to help out as more people in wholesaling than any other person that's ever walked on this planet. The only way I can do it is make it 100% free and get the most success cases possible. That's why we're on this live stream right now.
Exactly. So you don't owe us anything. We don't owe you anything. You owe yourself it. And so that's what I say.
And so many gurus try to take like, oh, look at what my student Amanda did. Like,
It was all me.
she did it. Like, we didn't do anything.
I
But
didn't do
just
any
give
work.
her the knowledge and the confidence she could do it in herself. And I wish more gurus would just say, listen, this person did it. They're it. And so many times gurus take credit for their students. It's not. It's the students that actually take the action. And I hate the word student.
If you take complete credit for someone's success, you have to take credit for someone's failure.
Yeah.
And
you can't just get one side of the
I can't
coin.
do that. I give everyone the information. What they do with it's up to them. But shout out to Amanda. Love seeing it
That's
here.
awesome.
Yeah, I love to see it. Love it. And so let's see here. Another one we got here is Jacob. Are we limited to only MLS deals? Jacob, I don't know if you watched the same live stream that I did. Maybe we have a different view.
Yeah.
Maybe you're watching this from a different angle, but I think we specifically said no MLS right now. Okay. Especially starting out.
You
I
want
go
to
to
drive
full
yourself out nuts. The reason you all are pitched the MLS thing, because it sounds perfect on paper. The reality and the practicality of it for a beginner, it's painful. And I'm just telling you, dealing direct with sellers is your fastest way to get a wholesaling deal. Throw in a middle person. Let me ask you this. Do you ever talk to your girlfriend or some of your guy friends? You tell them something, and then like you come back a week later and the guy's wife comes back. I heard you don't like me. Like, what are you talking about? And so what happens? Someone took your information and they filtered it. Well, a realtor is going to filter the information, how it's beneficial to them.
Yeah.
And then have you ever talked to two people at the same time that had a different agenda? That's what you're getting with a realtor. And like I deal with realtors all the time. Honestly, in the beginning, I would have got killed if I dealt with realtors. I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't understand them. They never accepted assignment of contracts. They wanted proof of funds. And I'm here to tell you the reason why you hear all this MLS stuff, because it looks great on paper. It seems like it solves problems. They take your money, and 3 months later, you find out you're probably never going to get a deal from doing it. I'm not saying you can't do that strategy, but as a beginner strategy, I think it's reckless, and you put them in a horrible position right off the bat. Now, if you use the method we do, we teach you to go government list, direct to seller, you get a deal done, you start to understand the business, the lingo, and then if you want to stretch out down the road. But most people who do MLS have a personal niche in their market and they understand it. And honestly, taking a guru's advice on it, it usually doesn't work.
I agree. Now, there are people in the MLS that make a ton of money. I'll tell you this. There are. But I'm talking for the vast majority of people, probably not.
They rarely start out that way.
For example, should you wholesale in Los Angeles? Probably not. Orange County? Probably not. But there are people making a ton of money wholesaling. Yes. There are.
San Francisco.
But if I look statistically, the chance of you getting a first deal is very low there. But there are people that do it, right? There's always things like, so it's like, can I lift 500 pounds? You can. Should benching 500 pounds be your goal? Probably not. You can, but the amount of people that do that, very low. People are running.
You're going to have to quit everything else you do just to even train for that.
It's just fine.
And you can kiss the pies and cakes goodbye.
But this guy does 500. I know this guy does it, but don't expect to be at that starting out, right? And so it's crazy. Aaron says, "Hey Zach and Rick, I'm going to my first appointment with the seller tomorrow. I am triple checking my contract, but still have a few questions. Could I get in contact with you guys for some clarity?" So, Aaron, you can hop on the one-on-ones and talk to us. You go to FlipDirect Plus, and if you do a JVD with us, or you just want to hop on there and join it, you can DM us it. So if you want to get in contact for us, just outside the live streams, you're gonna have to be in FlipDirect Plus. My time is very limited, and the only time I give to the people is for the live streams of free content and stuff at FlipDirect Plus. So
and freewholesaling.com.
Yeah. We can't go over your contract at freewholesaling.com.
I know.
Yeah.
You got options. You have options either way.
Yeah. So That's how you do it. How do you hop on the live? That's a great question. How do you hop on, talk to us
Show 'em.
one? Let me show you. So all you gotta do is go to Wholesaling Houses for Real. Now we got something very exciting at Wholesaling Houses for Real. I want to tell everyone, but all you literally got to do is you go to Wholesaling Houses for Real right here. We are currently at 99,000 members. That means by next week we'll hit 100,000 people in Wholesaling Houses for Real. So we're so excited for that. I'm jacked up for it. I'm so excited for it. And so we're gonna hit 100,000. It's gonna be exciting. And all you gotta do is go here. You go to the feature tab, and you click here, and you click the StreamYard link. Boom, and you'll be right there to talk to us for free in free wholesaling. And then basically talk to us for free. You go to Wholesaling House for Real. It's right there. And if you want to join, the only way you get to talk to us one-on-one in the live streams is you have to be a member of the Facebook group. That's why you kind of force it, but you got to interact with people, right? And so you go to facebook.com/groups/Wholesaling Houses for Real. You join it, you get to talk to us, and it's amazing, guys. 100,000 people in that Facebook group. I remember I was crazy because I was like, we had 1,000.
I know, 1,000.
Right? I was like 1,000, 10,000.
Yeah.
Insane, guys. And so I'm telling you right now.
I just love all the doubters out there. Like, there's no way you guys can do what you're doing. I'm like, dude, you have no idea. You remember, I already had 15, 16 years training in this business. I knew everything there. I knew a lot about wholesaling. I don't know everything. I'm never going to make that claim, but I just knew the changes need to be made in how we connect with people, how we teach this business, and stop with these ridiculous, giant, monstrous fee for people that are just learning the basics. Guys, $10K for like a starter wholesaling course. I've eliminated that for you. So go over to freewholesaling.com. Let's get you started.
Exactly.
Get in the challenge, get involved, get interactive in the Facebook group. And there's all the support you ever need there. And we don't make money a qualifier if we're going to work with you or not.
Exactly. So let's get into it. So first off, we got Jack.
How's it going?
I'm blessed. What's up? How can I help you out?
So I sent out my first batch of postcards, and then I got a call from this lady, and we got the motivation. We kind of agreed on a price-ish. I got everything I needed, but then she told me that the property was now on the market. So now I'm having to deal with the realtor too, and I'm just kind of confused about the process I have to take through that, because I was watching your guys' videos, and you said the deal's basically out of my hand at this point, so I can't use my title company.
Do you have the deal locked up?
I don't. I have an appointment with her tomorrow.
So
this is easy. Let me take this for you. So first of all, she didn't tell you it was on the market. Do you think it was just an oversight or it was done on purpose?
Well, she was in the process of putting it in the market when my mailer came in. So then she called me and she said she wants you to do it through me.
So you got to walk a fine line a little bit. So are you a licensed realtor? Yes or no? Okay. So if you're a licensed realtor, you got to walk away. You can't even like talk to them.
You can,
but I'm just telling you, you're in big risk. So you're not there. So number one, first of all, did she sign a listing agreement? Do you know?
I believe so.
So it's up to her on her own reconnaissance to get out of that listing agreement. And you got to say, listen, it's up to you. Here's the reality. If she stays in that listing agreement, she does a deal with you, that agent, broker, whatever it is entitled to a commission. Between you and me, it has nothing to do with you. You did not hire the realtor. You did not sign the listing. And that is up to the seller to work that out with the realtor. And you got to be careful not to run interference, because I don't know how much the realtor knows. They might know nothing about it. So
knows about me.
She's definitely signed the listing agreement.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because I checked the property. The property does say it's on the market, and the realtor actually called me about it too. He's like, yeah, we have it for this price, but she's probably flexible on this and that. So the realtor is trying to work with me, but my main confusion is...
So I'm just telling you, you've already established a relationship with the seller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before the realtor.
Correct.
Keep that line, because that like you were there first. You just give the seller options without burning the realtor. It's not the realtor's fault.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, what I do is try to strike a deal with them and then let her sort it out with the realtor. It's kind of just because you can screw it up, like saying, she's going to say, are you going to pay the realtor's commission? Here's the reality. Listing agreements can be dissolved just like that. They're not extremely enforceable at all.
Okay.
And if she just changes her mind, but she has to do it on her own, she can't come back and say, Jack told me to cancel the listing with you. That's going to get you, it's going to create problems.
Mhm.
So I would just do not, I promise you, if you try to negotiate with that realtor, it's going to be a nightmare. So she gave you all the motivations, everything. Just say, listen, if we can enter into an agreement, I'm sure you can talk to the realtor. If you want to get out of that listing, that's up between you and the realtor. I want to make this as painless as possible. Dude, I cancel listings all the time.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you what, like most of the listing contracts, they're very unenforceable. Like it's, if they have the slightest argument, they can get out of it. So here's my strategy is I would try to get a contract and get an agreement first, just because this realtor is going to try to wedge and try to drive a gap between you guys. So get it under contract and then have her unwind the listing agreement. And then even if you had to wait an extra month to get the deal done, then give her that luxury if she gives you a good price. You can't drive the price up because she hired a realtor. It's not really your problem.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So remember, the obligation of the realtor is always on the seller side. It's never on the buyer side unless you agree with something else in writing. So I would work with the seller. Hey, listen, you got my postcard. I know the timing worked out perfectly. Just try to come up with a number that's agreeable with you, with kind of without the realtor. And at worst case, what price range we talking here roughly?
It's listed at around 3 something, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to get under contract around 270, 280, which is very doable
Yeah.
between
So
other.
listen, your worst case scenario, if there's a $4,000 or $5,000 commission that's due, hopefully you make enough money that you could actually cover it. I don't like to pay realtors for nothing, but I do respect their business model. So you've already talked to the homeowner. Do not try to go through the realtor because it's going to blow up on you.
Okay.
And just work with it and go, listen, if we can work on an agreement and then do it backwards.
So to clarify, even if the listing agreement is already signed,
It's none of
I
your
can
business.
still-
Like it's
I can
who
still
cares?
get my contract signed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Now,
can I send it to the title company and everything, even though the listing agreement hasn't been dissolved. Like, can
listen,
I
the
put
listing agreement is between the seller
Mhm.
and the realtor. You have nothing to do with it. You have no say, input, or anything, and you have to kind of give that way. You give
No,
them
they'll probably have
options.
to pay though, the seller. And so what I like to say personally is, hey, Mr. Seller, I don't want to pay an extra 5-6%, like to purchase the property. I know you don't want to give up that much. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't want to buy this house if you have a listing on it. And
Yeah.
so if you want, I can buy it, but there can't be a listing on this. And I can buy it for this price.
Yeah.
What you want to do is you don't want to tell them specifically to dissolve it, but you got to put in their head, okay, Jack is only going to work with me if I dissolve the listing agreement.
Yeah. Now, sometimes they'll say, listen, I want the realtor to be paid.
Then pay them.
And just
I've had that happen.
Do the
before,
best
too.
number and move on and respect it. But the reality is, I would put the contract together.
Yeah.
Negotiate the best price and pretend the realtor's not there, and then deal with it backwards because you're never going to get the realtor's consent to just completely back out.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, a lot of times you go back to realtor and go, listen, we'll give you $1,500 just to get out of the way at the closing. And I think that's a respectable thing. But once again, that's going to come from the seller. Here's another advanced strategy you can do is she goes, well, if I enter in this agreement with you and I got to pay 5 or 6%, first of all, the reality is that realtor should only be entitled to half that commission because they'd have to go out and get a buyer's agent, which they don't have to do in that. So right off the bat, you can knock 3%, 6%, knock it down to 3% and go, listen, we'll make this number contingent on if you successfully cancel the listing on your own. You have nothing to do with it. You cannot be the scapegoat for it canceling. Worst case scenario, you might be able to fire a buyer and still cover the realtor's commission, but you were there first. I would keep that relationship going. If she says, I'll enter that agreement if I can get rid of the listing agreement, and go, listen, if I can't get rid of the listing agreement, you will help her resolve how you do the finality of it. So it's just, you just got to navigate around. Here's the beauty is it's not really your agreement. And I've seen wholesalers go in, they strike an agreement, and then they tell the seller, you have to deal with paying the realtor's commission. You don't want that for your seller, but the reality is you're down to 3%. So do the numbers. If you can make a lot of money and so you got to give them $4 or $5 grand to go away, it's not the end of the world. Most realtors at the end, they'll take something over nothing. But if they know that you're striking a deal behind their back type of deal, it usually gets ugly with the realtor and they will try to run you under the bus as hard as they can. So work with the seller. Go, listen, I'll do whatever you're comfortable. If you want to pay if you want to involve the realtor and stuff like that, pay the commission, but just understanding you're just kind of taking money off the top of this. I get the predicament you're in, but like, here's our options. If we can strike an agreement, do this. And then if you can get rid of that listing, then we can move forward this contract. If not, you might have to bump up the sales price a little bit to cover the butt on there. But it's funny. Realtors get real active. Like they'll start guarding their client. Yeah. And if you engage the realtor, they're going to, well, I'm not going to use the technique I'd use, but they're going to protect their client and wrap their arms around them and try to block you as much as they humanly possibly can. So I think you were there first. And from a pure ethics thing, it's the right thing. If you've already talked to the seller, you've identified the motivation, but this is the problem. Is there a problem with the property?
It cosmetic stuff. It's nothing major. It's just, it needs painting outside and it needs new flooring in the rooms. That's really
I always go back to the root of what the client wants. So if you want to sell the property as is, kind of no inspections, without all the BS, and this fits for you, it's great. How these properties wind up getting listing is just like blows my mind away. And some of it's just timing. So just make sure you respect the seller's wishes. Be careful they don't have a personal relationship, because a lot of people, it's their cousin that's selling the house and the realtor. Everybody's a realtor. Oh, yeah. I don't know if it's a distant relationship, but just work with the seller. And either way, make a deal happen. Don't let the realtor kill it. It's not their fault. Yeah. But most realtors are pretty reasonable. It's got to come from your seller, and you can plant the ideas in their head. You're not doing anything illegal, by the way. If you're licensed, you couldn't have 80% of these conversations. And that's why I don't want you guys to get licensed if you can avoid being licensed.
So how do I structure the deal to include the realtor if I have to? Like, do I have to put an addendum in the contract that they're getting a certain percentage, or is it just like you
have? So basically, they have a contract already, and the seller and the realtor have the contract. You have no bearing on it. You're just the buyer. You legally don't know a dime. But you want to be cognizant, knowing they're going to have to pay at least 3%. And then you can build that factor. And the easiest way is if the seller could cancel the listing. But that you have to coach them to do it on their own, because if you wind up being the catapult, they're going to go crazy. And as far as understanding, when you write a contract, you pick the title company. It's your choice, period. It's not the realtors will try to strong arm who they want, but you're the buyer. Hey, here's the deal. And you can write that in your contract, black and white. And remember, your contract doesn't have to be signed by the realtor, just by the homeowner. So part of me is I would like to lock the deal up and then work with your seller on solving the realtor problem and make them feel comfortable about it. And if they try to get rid of the listing, then great. You might have to wait a month or two to close just to let the dust settle so you don't get in trouble. Or worst case scenario, negotiate, get it under contract, and then work with the title company to negotiate with the seller. The max would be 3% because there's no other buyer's agent involved. And honestly, I'd try to negotiate down to $1,500.
Yeah. And that's just a verbal agreement, right, with the realtor? Or do I have to have anything in writing saying that I'm going to give them a certain amount?
Well, at the closing, the seller would have to sign some paperwork. Some realtors are like, screw you, you're paying me. And
let the title company do most of the work, though.
But that's it. Don't lose your deal. The realtor it's the minor part of the deal. So if it's a deal, worst case scenario, you pay 3%, and then you go down to either free or $1,500.
And would that come out of her check, or would that come out of my assignment fee?
All negotiable. How you want to do it. So you can do whatever you want. That's what I keep telling you. Don't volunteer till you have to. But the reality is, the seller's going to feel bad because they recruited the person. They're going to tell you, oh, I spent all this marketing. Dude, they take a couple photos, throw it on the MLS, and you never see them again. It's just the truth. So be respectful. People, these are people in your communities that earn a living. If you try to go to the realtor, you will be vilified. So just work on it. And then if you have to pay the realtor's agent out of your side to induce the deal, that would probably reassure your seller, but you got to make sure you get a good price on it too.
Okay.
So it's, don't try to go directly with the realtor. It'll be a nightmare. I'm just telling you guys, if you can work directly with the sellers without a realtor, would you say without the realtor, it would probably be a pretty easy deal, right, Jack?
Oh, 100%.
So just it's a roadblock. So just work with it. Go, listen, we're going to write the deal. Worst case scenario, if I have to pay them, then you can do that. The most is 3%. 3%, 8 or 9 grand. Like, just work out the numbers, but most of the time they'll be negotiable, and you can work through the title company to do it. But
I agree.
it makes sense. Don't ever let a realtor kill your deal. The best thing you can do is try to get the contract signed. Once you have a signed contract, you have a lot of leverage. Without a signed contract, you really don't have anything. And the realtor is going to keep trying to close that gap. So the faster you can connect with that seller, the more options you have, because you're always going to do the right thing for your seller. Like, you don't want them to be pissed because they have to eat the real estate commission. So you just find a way to make it work. Sometimes you split it. Sometimes you have your buyer pay for it. Like, I've had buyers pay for it all the time. Here's the catch. There's a 3% commission. You got to pay this crazy lady on the other side. Sorry.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you just pay it out of your portion. Everything's negotiable in real estate. So you have a great deal. The motivation's there. Stay on target and just get it done. The realtor is just a pimple on this deal. So pop it and move on.
Sounds good.
Okay,
All right.
man.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too.
Boom.
I've been in that situation so many times.
Oh my gosh.
And like the realtor, like the deal's got to move forward, guys. It's like a settlement. So it's like Congress. It's like trying to get a bill passed. It's like, I'll give you this if you give me more beef at a discounted price. It's a give and take. Don't let a realtor's $3,000 to $5,000 commission kill a deal. Like, you have a great deal there.
I agree.
Just work it.
Use the title company too. I want you to understand this. Like, and first and foremost, I want everyone to know, like, if it's something that's illegal, talk to a title company, make sure what you're doing is legal. Because some people take what we say and be like, oh, I'm going to mix these things. And then you do something that you shouldn't do. Make sure you have a title company, look over everything, make sure you're doing everything legally, ethically, and legally with an attorney at the title company. Make sure they look it over, and they'll tell you if you can or can't do it right. Yeah. And they'll be the best advocate for you too.
Have you guys ever read a listing agreement?
Crazy.
You got to read them sometimes. Do you know realtors are trained to have clients sign a minimum 6 to 12 month listing? And most people don't ask because they don't know that's an option. Yeah. You can do listings as little as 30 days. And in that listing usually says, if you're not satisfied with something, as long as you express your concern, you have the ability to opt out of the listing agreement. And people act like, oh my God, I'm going to get sued. It's not. I'm just telling you, they have brokers they work for. If they're not happy with it, I always try to do the right thing. But every now and then you just got to settle with a real estate agent, just like you would with any other lien. And don't let it kill your deal.
Exactly. Mike Wick says, hey, Rick and Zach, I have an apartment complex with 16 units going for 2.8. Got them down to 2. It needs a lot of work in a perfect location. Nice Airbnb. How do I get you guys contact? Look at it. If you're part of Flip Plus, just DM us. If not, I might want to buy that one. It depends where, obviously. Email support at flipwithrick.com. Support at flipwithrick.com. And maybe we'll be your buyer. Maybe we'll look at it. Maybe we'll tell you it's not a good deal. Maybe we'll give you a buyer and we can JV it.
Yeah, Mike, include as much information as you can, because like I need detailed numbers.
I need pro formas, all that stuff too. But
real numbers.
Just what?
I need more pro forma.
Yeah, I need numbers.
But yeah, I mean, we would love to do it. So it's submit it. We'll take a look at it and go from there.
Yeah, it's. But also, you need to let me know. Did you get them down to 2 million? Did you sign a contract?
Are
Stuff
they
like
under
that.
Contract, all sorts of stuff.
Because sometimes you got to put up some big boy EMD down and stuff.
Come on, Mike, connect with us, man. I love doing those deals.
So support@flipwithrick.com. That's not the type of deal where you can just give $100 EMD, right?
No.
That's big boy stuff, and we do big boy stuff here at Wholesaling. Wholesaling Houses for Real Estate. Wait, he said I get approval funds for an apartment complex for a 2.8. How can I get approval funds? A proof of funds. Use our proof of funds. We got millions and millions of dollars for you. But hit us up with the deal. We'll look at it. Obviously, he doesn't have it locked up. Send us the information. We'll look at it. We won't take the deal or anything, but it's big boy stuff. That's why most people, why we love doing this. People can send us deals like that, and they're amazing for us. And we love the Airbnb stuff. So it's fun.
Send it, Mike. I'll take a look at it and give you some honest feedback on it. So
yeah, I love it. Let's see what else we got here. We got Let's see. Darren says, I wholesale in Montgomery County and all my leads are price driven. Government lists are hard to pull, constantly requesting high all prices. Any advice? Well, Dorian, you should probably just give up. If wholesaling real estate's getting so difficult for you, you should just give up. It's a joke. All right, let's talk about this. First and foremost, you said that they're all price motivated sellers. Let's do this. Why don't you go out here and get the bail bondsman list? All right. If you're so interested in price motivated sellers, do that. Also, I don't see pre-foreclosures on this list. Pre-foreclosures aren't price motivated as much. They are time motivated. Now, when you say that all of my leads are price driven, all of them, I want you to do me a favor. When you say government list, make sure you pulled every single government list. The fire, I want to make sure you did every single lien. I want to make sure you do the tax delinquencies. I want to make sure you did every single type of government list we say and then give up. Most of the time, that's why I love doing one-on-ones, because when someone comes to me and says, I did all of the marketing possible and I haven't had one deal, I say, do you do the water shut off? And they say, no. So when I see here that I'm constantly requesting. I'm not saying you're complaining, but it sounds like a complaint to me.
Yeah.
Go in person and say, I need the list. When you say constantly requesting, go in person and get the list from the manager. Talk to the clerk of the actual person in charge of everything. Go to the actual person in charge of the water department. Go to the chief of the fire department and get the list. I don't care. But the constant requesting thing you're in and out with the requesting, right? Sometimes you have to spend some time doing it, but like most of the time you get it quick. And so, the drawing for dollars, I don't see one reverse. You didn't mention reverse drawing for dollars. Like you got a lot of holes on here, right? You're like a boat with all these holes going on everywhere, bro. Like patch the holes up and actually do the marketing that actually takes. I'm telling you, every single time I have someone that complains, there's another person that doesn't complain and get deals. If you're so upset over requesting, do reverse drawing for dollars. It's hard for me to answer comments like that because I don't know your information. I don't know how many leads you've done. When you say that they're all price driven, did you talk to 500 sellers and they all said that? Or did you talk to 3? Most people say 3 and then they complain. You got to give me the data, guys.
You got to get the data and you got to be honest with yourself, because making blanket statements like that, I'm not picking on you. Like, trust me, like I'm trying to help you out. I would hop on a one-on-one and go, hey, walk through, but like, you've got to walk the walk. I'm like, if you give me very rounded numbers and like, I don't know, and like, I can't help you then. Like, if you don't know, I'm definitely not going to know. The thing is, at the end of the day, you're going to have to be accountable yourself. The words like constantly requesting, saturated, everyone's price motivated. If you've made up in your mind, everyone's only price motivated, you can't do this business.
Well, here's the thing.
I can't convince you. He ain't going to convince you. Like, honestly, you got to change some of your vocabulary. And sometimes I'm not your typical guru. I just want to shake some of you guys and go, hey, you're going to have to put in the work. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be painful. And you're going to be wildly uncomfortable. While all your friends are out partying Friday, Saturday night, you're deep diving to freewholesaling.com, coming up with a strategy for Saturday morning. And if you can't get to that level, do not sit here and complain, because you're part of the problem. Just change. If you don't like what I'm saying, just change. If you're using your old personality, your old mindset to operate in your new wholesaling environment and it didn't work before, it's definitely not going to work now. My biggest pet peeve, when people get on here and they just complain, there's nothing I can do. You're right. Everyone's price sensitive. Go
take the work. Here's the thing. I want to leave everyone off on this one quote. And this is the quote I think Dorian needs to hear. This is a Jim Rohn quote. Love Jim Rohn. He's the best, right? Mm-hmm. The man that thinks he can't do something and the man that thinks he can do something are both right. Think about that for 1 second. The man that thinks he can't do something and the man that thinks he can do something are both correct. What that means is, if you think that every single seller is price driven and wholesaling doesn't work in this market, you're actually right for you. If you believe wholesaling sucks in my market, then it's going to be manifested to be true for you. That means you won't get any deals. But if you truly believe that this is a good market I'm in, Zach said this was a good market, Montgomery County is a great market, I believe I can do a deal here, you will also be right, and then you'll get your first deal. You're completely right in what you think. So if you constantly think that wholesaling sucks, it's terrible, the world owes me a deal, you won't become successful. If you truly believe that you can't do it, you'll be right and you won't do it. But if you're crazy enough to believe that you can do it, you'll also be right if you back up the statement. So the man or woman that believes that they can't do something is right, and the man or woman that believes they can is correct. Hopefully that lights a fire inside of you to go out here and get your first wholesaling deal. Go to freewholesaling.com, guys. Go out here and do what it takes. I'm telling you, if you go out here, take the action, do the work, do the dedication, you'll get your first wholesaling deal and become successful. Guys, go to freewholesaling.com. This is Zachkin signing out.
It's Rickkin signing out.
And we'll see everybody. We will be in the extended portion of the live stream at flipwithrickplus.com. So go to flipwithrickplus.com. We are going to do another 45 minutes to an hour, whatever it is. And we are going to go talk to you guys. And we're excited. So go to Flip with Rick Plus if you can go hop on to the extended live stream portion. And you get to talk to us. And yeah, we're excited. So guys, I appreciate it, guys. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. We'll see y'all on the extended portion of the live stream if you're on. If not, we will see you Tuesday. And I'm excited for it, guys. So make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon. And yeah, have a blessed one.